Good morning, my wild and woolly seventh graders. Welcome to the wide world of geography. First of all, let me say that I understand that cyber school is something that you are new to. I'm fairly new to it myself, and that I understand that as we work through some of the issues with making sure that work gets submitted properly, that it gets that the actual worksheets get out to you. The students, we're going to work through those problems. We're going to do whatever it takes to make sure that you guys have the resources necessary to be able to uh, concentrate on actually learning. And so for those of you that have had some difficulty navigating the Google Classroom resources over the last couple of days, um, expect to see some message traffic from me regarding issues with turning in assignments and completing the quizzes. Um, the one thing that I will ask you to do is I will ask you to regularly check for messages from me, both in your school email box and at the Google Classroom site, because the only real method that I have to uh, communicate with you guys right now is through those two avenues. And if there is work missing, or if there is confusion over what the requirements are, the best way for me to be able to um, help you help yourself is if you keep that line of communication open. Um, Secondly, if I do post something to the general feed, particularly with regard to times, unless you have a specific conflict with another teacher cross scheduling, I do expect you, when I tell you a specific day and time to be online, that you will be there. To the maximum extent possible, I am going to try to keep any online activities um, in the time frame when you would normally be in my classroom, either second period or third period. But for some activities, particularly if they extend past the 42-minute um, time allowance for regular classroom periods, they may run into a conflict with other teachers. If you tell me, hey, I forgot, I didn't wake up in time, uh, I was working on a different class subject, whatever, those are not really good excuses for missing out on a specific online window with geography. The only thing that is a legitimate reason for not being able to make a timed online session is if another teacher has scheduled their online session at the same time, in which case, get hold of me, we'll work it out, we'll set up an alternate. Um, Today we had several students who had to uh, resort to a makeup test because they missed the morning test window. Anytime I'm doing makeup work online, the window of opportunity is going to be after school. That means it'll generally start at 2:45 in the afternoon, and it will go um, uh, as long as it needs to in order to reasonably get the work done, but probably not much past 3:30 or 4 o'clock if I can all help it. In any case, that is not the primary purpose of me providing you this video today. The primary purpose is because we are starting a new block of instruction in our book, Exploring Our World, People, Places, and Cultures. So one of the first things I want you to do, if you did not take your textbook home with you, please send me an email immediately letting me know that you do not have access to your textbook. If you have your textbook, do not send me an email telling me you have it. I will assume that if you don't email me, that you have the book available. But if you are stranded at home and you don't have access to your textbook, I can make scans of the appropriate pages available to you through Google Classroom. I just need to know who needs those scans so that I'm not broadcasting them out to everybody. Number two, since we are bouncing around the world to knock out all of the physical geography prior to going back and picking up history and culture, now that we are complete with sub-Saharan Africa, we are going to be starting on Unit 8, South Asia, specifically Chapter 22, which is the physical geography of South Asia. And if you're not sure what South Asia is this part of the world here. It includes most of what people call the Indian subcontinent. That is the country of India and several of the surrounding countries, such as Pakistan and let's take a look here. Nepal, Sri Lanka, several countries in South Asia. Bhutan, Bangladesh, and a few islands off the coast of India, particularly the Maldive Islands. So the unit itself starts on page 596, but that's just the title page. You will find the regional atlas starting on page 598. And just like when we go through these in class, please take the time to review the regional atlas. It only goes up to page 604, and there is some very valuable information in there that we will be talking about both during this block on physical geography and later when we start talking about history and culture. The actual chapter 22 starts on page 609, and you will see, if you get to page 609, down there is what's called a foldable. We've worked with these before in class. Right now, I do not have a gradable event that involves the foldable, but you may want to go ahead and make yourself up one of those as a study organizer. They are very valuable for helping to keep information such as physical features and climate regions in an organized manner that's very easy to review. The actual readings are going to start on 610. And while I am not going to go into those readings right now, I will tell you that between now and the end of the week, I do expect you to read the landforms and resources section. That is pages 610 through the bottom of page 613. It's about, not counting the margins, about 2.5 pages worth of text. I will have a vocabulary sheet uploaded for you probably on Friday morning that will be due sometime next week. And we will be going through some other videos where we discuss the information that is here in the first part of chapter 22. So I don't want to take up a lot of your time today. I just wanted to make sure that we're all on the same page when it comes to what the next few days are going to involve. So feel free to poke around in the textbook. When I come up with tomorrow's video, we will be talking about specific landforms, specifically the mountains, the plains, and the islands that are in and around South Asia, the Indian subcontinent. So once again, if you do not have your textbook at home with you, send me an email. I will scan the pages. I will upload them to you. And please review the regional atlas in the book. Please read those first 3 pages of chapter 22, and we will talk more about that material tomorrow. If you have any questions or comments, the easiest way to get them to me is to actually post them in the Google Classroom feed. I get an email notification as soon as a question or comment is posted, and I can immediately just click through and respond to your question. You might think the question is kind of stupid or silly. Go ahead and post it anyway. I guarantee you, if you have a question, there are at least 3 other kids in the class that probably have the same question, and you're doing them a favor by uh, putting it out there. So until the next assignment hits the airwaves, um, that's all I've got. Um, we will see you tomorrow.